There's a silence more powerful than words, a shift she can feel even when you say nothing at all. It's when your energy no longer seeks hers, when you stop reaching, when the weight of your attention disappears from her world. That's when she feels it, the reality that you've moved on. And not out of spite, not out of anger, but out of growth, out of peace. This is the power of Stoicism. Not in making her feel pain, but in reclaiming your soul from where you once left it. Body exploring the feeling. At first, she may not even notice. Maybe she thinks you're still watching her stories, still checking her posts, still lingering in that mental space where she once knew you would wait. But Stoicism is subtle. It's not about noise. It's about presence, or rather the absence of it. She starts to wonder, why hasn't he called? Why didn't he react? Why does it feel different? You haven't changed who you are. You've returned to who you were before you needed her validation, and that's a shift she can't ignore. When you embrace Stoicism, you don't move on with rage. You move on with reason. You stop being emotionally enslaved to someone else's choices. You begin to ask, does this serve my soul? Does it align with my peace? When the answer is no, you withdraw. Not to manipulate, not to punish, but to honor your own worth. That's when she feels it. Not in the text you didn't send, but in the calm you now carry. Explaining the Stoic view. A Stoic doesn't react to emotional bait. He doesn't chase closure. He becomes the closure, because he understands that clinging to the past only poisons the present. He lets go, not with bitterness, but with discipline. And when a woman sees that you've truly moved on, not pretending, not rebounding, but truly elevated, there's a ripple in her reality, because she once knew a version of you that needed her. Now she sees a man who needs no one to feel whole. That's a shockwave to the ego. She may feel curiosity at first, then confusion, then perhaps regret. Why? Because nothing is more attractive, more unsettling than a man who has mastered his emotions. A man who can love deeply but not cling blindly. A man who can feel pain but doesn't let it govern his path. You see, most people expect you to spiral, to beg, to wait. But when you rise instead, when you glow in silence, they start to question what they lost. The inner shift. You didn't move on to hurt her. You moved on to heal you. And that distinction is everything. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about observing them, learning from them, and choosing a higher response. It's about being unmoved by chaos and grounded in self-respect. When you reach that place, you stop being reactive. You become magnetic. Not because you're trying, but because peace is power, and peace is rare. She feels it in the way you no longer orbit around her attention, in how you no longer need her to see you doing better, because you don't need to be seen. You need to be centered. That's what stings the most. Not your absence, but your growth. So how does a woman feel when she sees you've moved on? She feels the weight of her own silence, the echo of what once was. She feels the loss of the man who loved her purely and now loves himself fiercely. But you, the Stoic, feel peace because you no longer wait for her to understand your worth. You know it, you embody it, and that is the kind of strength that leaves a permanent imprint, not just on her memory, but on the world. Walk forward, don't look back. Your silence is your closure. Your growth is your revenge. And your peace, that's your power.